Hello, hello, my amazing, beautiful listeners. Quick bonus episode for you. This was an impromptu recording. I got in my office a little bit early this morning and I thought, you know what? I'm going to just share some of the thoughts that I was having last night because today is the celebration of Diwali. Last night, my neighbor friends were celebrating it. I live in a neighborhood with about 90% Indian and Hindu families, and I love it. The people, the food, the color, the culture. And I love learning about all of the different celebrations that they have. And last night, there were a lot of fireworks going off in my neighborhood because they were celebrating Diwali. It is such a gift to be surrounded by it. I know I have talked about this before, just about how much I enjoy learning from my neighbors. And Diwali is the festival of lights. It was so beautiful. The lights, the candles, the joy, the fireworks, everything about it carries just such deep meaning. I wanted to jump on here and record a quick message for you because this celebration holds some really powerful symbolism that I think connects really deeply with so many of you that are walking through dark right now, that are maybe looking for light right now. So with today being the main celebration, I thought it would be great to just put out this bonus episode. Diwali at its heart is really about the triumph of light over darkness. And I just can't help but think about how it mirrors your story, the story of betrayal, of loss, and of finding yourself again. Because when you've gone through betrayal, divorce, you know what darkness feels like. You didn't choose it, you didn't invite it. Your partner brought a lot of darkness into the relationship with lies, manipulation, deceit, abuse. And even after separation, it can still feel dark. The court system can feel dark. The way that your ex or soon to be ex behaves can feel dark. The loneliness, the confusion, the incredible amount of loss, the gaslighting, all of it can feel like you're just being trapped in a room with no light switch. You know, you're scrambling around the walls trying to find the light switch. And yet Diwali reminds us of something I think so sacred and true. And that is light always overcomes darkness. Even when it feels like the darkness is winning, it is not. It is not forgotten in my memory the days, the nights that felt like the light would never come. And I just want to validate if you are in that space right now. Darkness is just the absence of light. And the moment that you remember that your light within you still exists, even if it feels faint right now, that darkness begins to shift. I promise every single one of you have already within you the light switch. I know sometimes we're feeling around the walls, symbolically trying to find that switch outside of ourselves. It is so important to remember that that light is already within you. And when you turn towards you and find that light, it already begins to shift that dark. In Hindu tradition, people light small lamps called diyas, which each one represents the light of goodness, of truth, of inner strength. To me, that is, again, such a beautiful symbol of what I think healing really is. It's not pretending that the dark never happened or just trying to talk yourself into moving forward and moving on. And, you know, a lot of times those people that have good intentions might say something like that. You should be over this by now, or why aren't you over this by now? Or just move forward, just forget about it. I don't think that's how it works. At least it didn't work for me. I think it's really about saying, I won't let it define me anymore. However, that creeps in so subtly to our life, that sense of defining our worth, our value, our lovability. When we decide that we're not going to let what happened, that dark, define us anymore, that is when we start to flip that switch on and let the light heal. Every time you tell the truth about your story, that's a light. Every time you choose to regulate instead of react, that's light. Every time you honor your boundaries, you are lighting a lamp within yourself. Your healing isn't about becoming the light and trying to find it and bring it in. It's about remembering that you already are. You already are light. So the three pillars of healing that I always, in my healing model, awareness, acceptance, and agency, I just thought it would be helpful to bring these principles into this as well. So if we take the first pillar of healing, awareness, it's important that we see the darkness clearly. Awareness is that first flicker of light. The moment that you realize, you know what, this isn't okay. This is not love, and I deserve better. A lot of you listening and have already had a lot of awareness, to the reality that you were living in that was being hidden. It's seeing what's been hidden. Sometimes even what we're hiding from ourselves because we're not ready to face the truth of. Awareness can feel really uncomfortable because light reveals truth. And truth is going to show us things that we might not want to see, that we'd rather not see. But it's the most compassionate thing that you can do for yourself. Maybe for you, awareness looks like recognizing how your body has been holding on to this survival, onto the trauma. It might be noticing that your foot is always hovering over the brake, so to speak, and that you've been bracing for that impact far longer after the storm has even passed. Awareness is when you start to name what is really happening, not from judgment, but from that curiosity and from compassion. It's saying, I see what's here and I can finally begin to understand it and move forward from it. When we have more awareness, it leads us to the next pillar of healing, and that's acceptance. Acceptance in this context of Diwali, it's letting the light settle in. It's this steady flame that burns even when the winds of grief or anger start to blow and try to blow that light out. Acceptance is not agreeing with what happened. It's just allowing reality to be what it is so that you can stop fighting the truth, fighting the reality, and start healing through it. For many of my betrayed partners, acceptance looks like realizing, you know what, he may never take accountability in the way that I want. He may never apologize in the way that I need or hope for. Or acceptance is the marriage that I believed that we had, that we were fighting for, that we were working towards is gone. Yet I can still create a beautiful life for myself. It's that deep exhale that says, this is my story, but it does not and cannot be my identity. Acceptance softens the edge of pain so that it's not so sharp and pointy and stabby. Not because the pain disappears all the way, but because you stop abandoning yourself in that pain. When you lean into acceptance, you allow the light to reach the darkest parts of you and it begins to transform. It really begins to transform what might feel super unbearable to you right now. If you hang in there and hang on to the light, it will become something very wise and even sacred. And then the third pillar is agency. And again, in this context, choose to light your own lamp. Your power to choose, your power to act, and your power to create. And this is when you remember that healing isn't about waiting for someone else to turn that light back on. I see this a lot with my divorced ladies who maybe jump into another relationship for this purpose, looking for someone to turn that light back on. This is about realizing that you have the switch inside, that when you flip the switch on, you will start to invite more light into your space. Agency is deciding, I'm going to protect my peace, even if it means disappointing someone else. It's choosing to show up differently with your children and your work, your faith, your body, and your relationships. It's saying, I don't have to earn my worth anymore. I get to live from it because that light is what lives inside of you. Agency is where your inner light becomes steady. It's when you move from that survival, all of you, right, know what survival mode looks like. It's moving from survival mode and surviving the dark to guiding yourself and even others through it. So maybe today, in celebration of Diwali, you light a candle. And as that flame flickers, you say to yourself, my light still shines. It was never gone. just waiting for me to see it again. Because this is so true. The darkness does not win. You win. Mahatma Gandhi, who is considered to be the father of India, said, God is light, not darkness. God is love, not hate. God is truth, not untruth. At the most basic level, you are a being of love, light, and truth. That does not mean that you won't feel rage or grief or pain or hurt, but that the essence of you beneath all of the emotions and experiences that you're going to have as a human, the light, the love, the truth still holds. Use that as your anchor because you are enough. You are light and you are the chooser of your life, and you get to create the life that you want because you can. Happy Diwali.
I was born to fly and spread these wings and find my own. I am coming home. Today will be the day it all will change. Nothing, no one's in my way. Today will be the